Good evening. Here are tonight's top stories. 9 people are homeless after a blaze in Albuistown, and a speeding driver died after crashing into a truck. Meanwhile, a motorcyclist drove away after hitting a pedestrian on High Street. President Ali attended the Guyana Online Academy of Learning's second annual graduation ceremony. Stay tuned for the details of these stories. Please remember to like, share and subscribe to our channel for more news.
Motorcyclist drives away after hitting pedestrian on High Street. Police are investigating a hit-and-run accident that occurred on Thursday around 1900 hours HRS on High Street, Georgetown, involving a motorcycle and pedestrian John Ross of Durban Street Work and Rust, Georgetown. According to police headquarters, the motorcycle was proceeding north along the one-way on High Street at a fast rate and collided with Ross, who was crossing the road from the east to the west in the vicinity of Ashman's building. As a result of the collision, the pedestrian fell onto the road surface, receiving injuries on his body. He was picked up by his parents, placed in a motorcar, and conveyed to Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, where he was seen and examined by a doctor on duty and admitted. The scene was visited by police and investigations are ongoing. 9 homeless after Albuistown blaze. A Thursday mid-afternoon fire at Albuis Street in Albuistown, Georgetown has destroyed a 2-story wooden building and left 9 persons homeless. The fire reportedly started at about 15:00h, but within minutes, the structure was completely engulfed. An elderly occupant of the house has said that the fire started in the upper flat of the house and made its way to the bottom flat in a short space of time. According to the man, he was asleep when he heard a neighbor screaming out his name. By the time he got up, he realized the fire was in the kitchen area of the house, and was already spreading. "I think I probably had on the stove, but I can't remember. All I remember is that I heard the neighbor calling my name, and when I woke up, I saw the kitchen was on fire," he explained. Luckily, he declared, other members of the household were in the downstairs part of the house, and they had enough time to leave the house unharmed. Meanwhile, he related that during his bid to retrieve items from the house, he was unable to save his 2 beloved pet rabbits. "I was so confused when the fire was going on, I didn't even get to save my 2 big rabbits. All I got to save was a mattress and a guitar," he sadly told Guyana Times, while adding that he was unable to run inside the house to retrieve the rabbits as the smoke was already billowing. Besides being unable to quantify his losses, the elderly man revealed that his losses include 2 big TVs, a Panasonic and a Sony, his mobile phone, and some cash that he had saved up. Investigations are underway by fire service officials to ascertain the cause of the fire. Are you looking for a job? We are hiring currently for pump attendant, cashier, store clerks, supervisor. Give us a call at 629-9886 or 226-4459. We are located at Vlissingen Road next to KFC. You can also WhatsApp us to schedule an interview. The closing date for applying is the 28th of May, 2024. We look forward to hearing from you. Speeding driver dies after crashing into truck. Police in Regional Division 5 are investigating a fatal accident, which occurred on Thursday, May 23, 2024, at about 20:15 HRS on Columbia Public Road, Mahayakoni, East Coast, Demerara. Involving motor lorry with registration number GSS 6980 owned by Danny Katraya of Bath, Mahayakoni, East Coast, Demerara, and driven audit Ramdeen of Airy Hall, Mahayakoni, East Coast, Demerara, and motor car with registration number PVV 3618 owned by Audrey Gomez of Canary Street, Tuckville, Georgetown, driven by Jonathan Gomez, deceased, 27-year-old of the same address. Initial investigation disclosed that motor lorry GSS 6980 was proceeding east along the northern side of the road when motor car PVV 3618 that was proceeding west along the southern side of the said road overtook several vehicles which were proceeding west around a right bend, at a fast rate, which caused him to end up on the northern side of the road into the path of the motor lorry. As a result, the driver of motor lorry pulled further north onto the northern parapet to avoid a collision, but despite his efforts, motor car PVV 3618 collided with the front portion of the said motor lorry, which then caused driver of the said motor lorry to collided with a utility pole on the said side of the road. Due to this collision, the driver of the motor car received injuries about his body and was taken out the said vehicle in an unconscious condition by public-spirited citizens and placed into force vehicle along with the driver of the motor lorry and taken to Mahakoni Public Hospital, where they were both seen and examined by a doctor on duty who pronounced the driver of motor car dead on arrival. The driver of motor lorry was treated and sent away. A breathalyzer test conducted on the driver of motor lorry revealed no trace alcohol. He is presently in custody, assisting with investigation. The body of the deceased is presently lying at Bailey's funeral parlor, awaiting a post-mortem examination. Investigation in progress.
President Ali attends the Guyana Online Academy of Learning second annual graduation ceremony. President Dr Irfaan Ali attends the graduation ceremony of 1712 students under the Guyana Online Academy of Learning. Watch as he delivered his opening remarks.
Members of the diplomatic community, most importantly, graduates. No. That's not 1,000 of you. Let me hear you again. Graduates. You want to know who is more excited than you? I'll show you. Parents and supporters of the graduates, let me hear you. That's your first life lesson. That in your greatest moment of excitement and accomplishment, those that back you and stood by you are even more excited for you. That is your first lesson today. That even as you are caught up, rightfully so, in your own celebrations, they, your backers, your supporters, are equally and even more excited in the way you are celebrating today. Give them a resounding round of applause. And let's take that a step forward. Just as your backers are excited, proud of your accomplishment today, your greatest supporter, your greatest backer, our mother, our land, your country, we all are even greater and more highly motivated and excited than all of you sitting here today, because you have made us, your country, all of Guyana, proud with your work today. We know that with your accomplishment, we are better. With your accomplishment, we are stronger. With your accomplishment, we are more united. With your accomplishment, we are more competitive. And with every level of education, every higher level of education you receive, you ought, listen carefully, you ought to be able to make better decisions. We don't normally stick to that theory. But one of the most significant power of education is that it takes the mind to a different level, through which you ought to be in a better position to make better decisions and better judgment.